All right.
Hey guys, welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and we take junk or items that we got for free and we turn them into home decor for our house or things that we sell. Today, we have this buffet. So we're going to tell you a little bit about it, and then we'll get started. I actually already have it half done because we're live and we only have an hour, so I'm just hoping to get further through with some of it partially finished. Zeb is my handy dandy partner here. If you're new, we're husband and wife, and we like each other most days. So I feel like it works out well.
It's working out today.
Today it's working for us. If you're new here, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, if you want to know where to get the products, just go to jbrayvintage.com if you want to recreate the look.
I'm like getting alfalfa hay off of this because we had hay in the back of the truck for the sheep when we picked this up. And it is all over. We drove on the freeway for about half an hour with this in there.
This top done? Okay.
I bet it's all in the drawers too. That stuff gets everywhere.
We're a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll around here, and we're going to be a little bit French country with this finish. Zeb, can you bring them in so they can just see? Because we get a lot of shade for painting antiques, and I don't really care. I'd paint it even if it was perfect because I like it. But
let me see if I can zoom in.
This is a really good candidate for a paint job because legit, it would have to be stripped. And if somebody wanted to, they could still strip it even with paint on it because we don't use yucky latex. We're using good quality paint here that'll sand off nicely when needed.
It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but these are like big divots where it's just peeled up and someone put more finish or probably furniture polish over the top. So it's like really bumpy.
Yeah, and if I was going to be painting this and wanting a smooth finish, I would sand that down because this is going to be reflected in our final finish, which is what I want because we're going to be putting milk paint over the top of this. So this is like a classic example of working with what the piece has given us instead of trying to make it something else. So we've already got this chippy kind of textured finish, and we actually have a piece that's from Europe with an original paint finish that we do a lot of photography on. Can you guys, let's see.
It looks
this one
pretty
right
much
here.
the same.
And it's like textured and layers, and it's got a similar finish on it. So that's kind of what we're recreating here.
Shout out to Diane. She's the one that was like, this has been sitting on my porch for months now. No one wants it. I don't have space for it in my house because I've got other things I like more. Do you guys want it? And we said, yes.
She patiently waited for us to be going down to the area where she lives. And we happened to be there on Saturday, so we went by and picked this up. So we're super excited to give it a transformation. This first paint color is DIY. Is it beadboard?
Yes, that is beadboard.
DIY's beadboard. It sticks to almost anything. It's a great base layer, especially for the look we're going to be going for. Once it dries, we're going to start with our milk paint. And because it's Waste Not Wednesday, we're going to be mixing two colors. Let me grab these. Recently, we cleaned out our paint drawer, our paint buffet. And we found a bunch of paints. We have a little bit of olive.
I got it way zoomed in. There you go.
Sorry. We have a little bit of olive left over from our bar stools and some Sweetie Janes. We're going to mix these two today. That's what's going on top of here. Give us a good blue-green color, I think. And Zeb's also going to show you how to add some molds to repair some damage that was done to these pieces.
Yeah, we're going to do that in just a minute. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. Everyone's saying hi.
Hello.
Lunchbox Lady says thanks for the stuff she ordered from JRV.
Woo, woo.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. That keeps us going.
Yeah, our shipping team works around the clock. Literally, there's somebody almost always there shipping. There is a wonderful sticker down here. It says Pioneer Gifts.
All right, so I'm going to zoom you in. You can see the
Zeb,
front
have you
of
not
this.
wiped this over here?
I have wiped it a little bit.
Can you pass me that rag? I'm going to just hit a few spots.
You can see the front of this is broken. Oh, someone's driving by taking a picture of the house.
Hi, we'll just wave at them, make it weird.
I wonder if they're watching us live.
No, I don't think so. Actually, what happens is we need to not be so conceited to think people care about our house. A lot of locals, this house is so old that they remember this house when they were kids. So that I think that's like, she's like, oh my gosh, that's Delma's old house. They've done a lot to it.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people like that. It's really fun.
Well, a lot of times they'll stop and talk to us.
Yeah, and they'll tell us that they were in this house as a kid or whatever. And
if you don't have special butter knives in your house for like all sorts of jobs, make a couple special butter knives. You know, they sell these at the thrift stores for about 25 cents. You can go pick up 100 of them.
It is a great multi-purpose tool. And if they're clean afterwards, you can use them to spread your butter. We do not differentiate. Every butter knife is at risk of being a tool.
So this is broken. That other side was broken. I chipped a little bit of it off, but this is going to be more serious. I'm going to have to go get like a little hammer or something and chisel that off. So I will be right back. I'm going to go get that. The nice thing is that
these are like separate pieces, so we can get this off without damaging the rest of it, and then we're just going to roll these pieces here.
Yeah, because we're going to, I'm going to do a little Iod mold on there in just a minute and show you what that looks like. And then I'm also
Deb, can you leave that butter knife though? It looks like there's some jam.
Some jam.
Some jam.
All right.
Zeb's vision, he's almost 40. His birthday is coming up. His vision isn't what it used to be. He missed that jam. We got all kinds of old man jokes happening around here. I told him to buy him big font scriptures. He really wants an Apple Watch, and so it's not a secret. He knows he's getting it because I want to make sure I got the right one. And I'm like, get the biggest screen they have. Make life easy. It's only funny because I used to be super, super blind, so bad. Like I couldn't see without my glasses at all. And then I got LASIK, and Zeb was always my eyeballs for me when we were in our younger married years, and now I'm his eyeballs. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, would you hit that share button? That really helps us get our videos out there. We actually, we put our videos on all the platforms, and recently we did a video putting up our Christmas tree. We caught some shade for that because apparently if you put your Christmas tree up, you're forgetting Thanksgiving, which it's not true. It just takes us a whole month to get everything done, and we've got a bunch of projects going. So I want to get it up so that way, as I did ornaments, I could just put them directly on the tree. But anyways, we had over 100,000 views on Facebook of our tree video. So that was kind of fun. And it's funny how I think YouTube, we maybe had 3,000 views. I think we had 10,000 views on Instagram, but over 100,000 views on Facebook. And that's because people on Facebook can share videos out. So if you're ever watching on Facebook and you share our videos, it helps us out a ton to get reach, because old Mark Zuckerberg has an algorithm that we just can't crack, but we can work at it if we share stuff out.
So I think I said Diane gave us this.
Darlene.
Darlene.
Sorry.
Caitlin pointed that out. She texted me. She's like, hey, and I should be able to remember that because that's Jamie's mom's name, but sorry.
You're almost
sorry, Darlene.
We were just talking about how old you were getting. You're almost 40. It's hard to remember things. 40 is not really old.
At least I feel like I can start to have an excuse. It's been like this for years.
It's a lot on your brain, so I'm gonna. Oh yeah. This is jam.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some paper clay and a couple molds.
Ugh. Looks like the Ray kids were around it.
Or maybe me.
Or Zeb. Leaving some jam or some honey.
Well, it's been outside, so.
It's been outside, which means it's at risk of whatever. Yep, there we go. Got it off. Every now and then I'll clean my kitchen cupboards and be like, how did that get on there? And when things live outside, they take on a life of their own. But this is going to give us some really great texture because it lived outside, because now we've got this really crackly varnish.
So I'm going to go through some of these Iod molds and see what's going to fit best. Here, just leave this little section unpainted for me and I'll glue those on real quick.
Okay. I will leave that section for you.
All right. So one of our favorite things is to use the Iod air dry clay to do wood repairs, and this is prime example. It's great for filling holes. It does shrink and crack a little bit.
This already has crack in it, so it'll match.
Yeah, if you've got a really big, large piece that needs fixed, you may want to use something different. But for small little repairs like this, it works so good.
I'll get to comments in a minute while he's doing this.
All right, so I'm going to just put, this is actually Type Bond 2. It's in my Gorilla Wood Glue. I bought this specifically because I liked the little dispenser. And the Gorilla Wood Glue is good too. I just can get this by the gallon. The Type Bond 2 I get by the gallon.
All right, Zeb, I got to finish painting in that hole.
Okay.
Can we swap sides?
Yes. So dab of glue there. We might be able to get away with just leaving those. Do you want to mold those again?
Mold what?
I guess there's a little bit of damage where the glue peeled it off, huh?
Yeah, it's always good to like show them how you can fix stuff. And we actually happen to have shells right here that are almost the exact same size. This is the, I have no idea which mold. Caitlin, what mold is this? It's like Classic Elements, I think.
I think it is.
We need to just write it on the back. We keep saying that, but yeah, this
the
little
new
shell
ones had
here
the
will
names
work.
on there.
I know. I feel like they did that just for us because they're like, those Rays are gonna never remember the names of stuff, so we're just gonna put it on there.
Well, we have probably 1,000 different products on the website with all different names and colors. And
Oh, we probably have 2,000.
yeah, it's hard. I just can't keep all that in my brain.
I can't even remember my own kids' names. I was looking right at Redrick, and I wanted to get a hold of Jack, and I yelled, Redrick! And Redrick's like, I'm right here. And I knew I wanted Jack. I don't know what. So this is not the neatest first coat, but this is like an undercoat, so it's okay. I'm just making sure there's not like any major drips trying to go all the same direction. You can actually like crosshatch and go side by side if you want to get a lot of texture. Also a paint finish.
All right, so I'm just using the existing piece here to kind of shape it with my fingers. This stuff, when it's nice and wet, it's pretty pliable, moves pretty good to where you want it. You can shape it really easy.
All right, that's good. This is starting to dry on this side. So I'm going to answer questions, and then we'll get the heat gun.
Yep.
And we can start mixing up milk paint and put that over the top. I'm just impressed.
It's hard because the computer's back behind the camera, so you might have to like tune into your phone.
Well, they can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Seb's just going to keep working over there. Jew Fryer says, I love the pig from yesterday.
Oh, the pig turned out cool. If you saw that video from yesterday evening, it was a fun, quick little video, and the decoupage on that big pig cutout turned out great.
Let's see. Robin says, I've avoided Facebook, but I watch your YouTube and share the link. Hey, we'll take any shares we can get. That's why we post it on different platforms or videos, so that way, whatever platform you're convenient, like works well for you, then we're there. Do we need to prime? No, we don't need to prime with DIY paint because it is a clay-based paint, and legit, when this dries, it's rock solid. And we're also going to be sanding it. So any place where maybe the finish was a little bit flaky or whatever, it's going to be coming off, which is what we want. So it actually works to our advantage. If you wanted a nice smooth paint job with this flaky of a varnish, you would need to sand the flaky part off, because whatever the texture is to start with, that's what the texture is going to be when you finish. So just always keep that in mind.
So I think because of the size, this whole piece is too big. I'm going to use just the top of this here. I need to go find some cornstarch. Cornstarch helps it release from the mold really well because these are so detailed. So I'll go grab some cornstarch really quickly. It's over here.
Wonder Girl 60s. If we didn't paint it, then this video would have been already finished.
Yep.
You could totally sand this down if you wanted to. And the finish, if you were going to refinish it, would have to be sanded. The nice thing about DIY paint and Sweet Pickets milk paint is that you can totally sand it off, no problem. If we were painting this with latex or an enamel, then yeah, it's a little different story, because it does, especially latex gets gummy when you try to strip it, but this paint won't. So the other thing about painting it, if you're not going to refinish it, is it actually protects the wood underneath. So if you have a piece that needs to be refinished and you keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and the varnish wears away and you don't protect that wood, it'll get really dried out and rotted. Whereas a painted piece, now this is protected. So if in 10, 15 years somebody says, hey, I want to restore this, they can come back and strip it. Although they are going to find paper clay instead of wood, so they'll have to replace that. But they would still be able to.
This is really hard on like no surface. I got to set this down on the floor. We're gonna work on the floor for a sec here, guys.
Can you use the new paint inlays with milk paint? We have not tried it, but I don't see why you wouldn't. They would probably get chippy. Let's see. How did my mother's headboard turn out? Terry, we haven't really worked on it. She's not coming back until the first week in December, so hopefully we'll get time to work on. We need to find another door and do 2 matching ones. So one for my dad and one for my mom, and then we'll share that with you guys.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. So this is the piece that I got out of there. I'm going to trim just a little bit of it off.
Zeb, Sally wants to know if IOD works on plastic.
Yes.
As long as you are using the correct glue that adheres to plastic, you should be fine.
Yeah, because we resin in the molds is plastic.
Yeah, we put plastic on wood, so you can put paper clay on plastic. The most important thing is the glue. It has to be a glue that adheres to plastic, and then you're good to go. There we go.
Let's see if it'll. All right. Now, just a little bit of wood glue.
Oh, your mic is funky, they said.
My mic is funky?
You just need to give it up and put it on your hat brim because it's really where it works best. I know
right.
it interferes with your vision.
I will. I'm going to go get new lav mics probably today. I got to go down to the Best Buy.
Do it now
anyway.
because Jana just said Zeb mic, so it must be sounding weird.
All right. The glue is not coming out of here. I must have a plug.
Okay.
Oh, do it now.
Yes, I'm fixing it right now.
It's not over by my Adam's apple's way on the side of my neck. Maybe that's the problem.
All right, is that better? Zeb's got feedback, they said.
All right.
Let me know if that's better, guys.
There, I got some glue out finally. I don't know what was going on. It's like super thick.
Oh, Claire is watching us from the UK.
Watching me struggle with my glue. This has been in there a hot minute. It is
And
really
we have
thick.
Diane from Scotland. That's fun. I love that we can go on social media and meet friends all over the world. Oh, they said it's better.
Better now?
Yeah,
all right.
so you cannot put it anywhere
I just
near
can't
the
have it
neck.
rubbed anywhere on my body. Okay, so I finally got some glue on there. This is just the wood glue still. It's thick enough. It's gonna give that some hydro tension and suck that down on there because it has something to sit on. If it didn't have something to sit on, it would want to slide off. But since it has this piece here, it's good to go. I'm going to make another one on that side. Jamie, if you're real careful, you could probably come paint this now.
Yeah, I already said I was. I love that you prefaced that with "if I'm real careful." Yeah, it's just funny. I saved some end tables that need some love, especially the border around the top. Any tips for this? Are they MDF? Because sometimes MDF, it gets kind of bubbly or separated. One of the things that we've done in the past is used a product called Salt Wash. We did a desk. It's been a long time. It's still in the shop. Nobody's bought it yet, but it's still pretty cute. And we use Salt Wash to go bumpy over the damaged areas of the MDF because there's really no way to fix that. And then we put a bunch of molds over spots where it was like swollen, and it turned out really cute. So instead of maybe trying to get rid of the area that's imperfect, if you just work with it and add products like Salt Wash to add texture, that might help you with those nightstands. So I am trying to be careful next to the, yeah, that looks like it's always been there. That was a good fix.
Yep, these IOD molds are great.
So if you do it like this and you paint it when it's wet and you come back later and there's a big crack in it, you can backfill with paper clay or just shove some paint in the crack. It kind of depends on the look you're going for. But it will shrink and crack, which is the nature of clay. Like Zeb said, if you didn't want to do that, you could just use resin and then it comes out picture perfect. But I just feel like a super perfect mold would look funny with the rest of the things we have going on with this piece. You fingered my side. I had a fingerprint here. Oh, and there too.
Sorry. I may have had to get handsy with this piece.
Your DNA is on here. They'll be like, let me run that fingerprint through the FBI system.
I've been fingerprinted before.
You don't have anything to hide?
Nope. I had to when I worked for the post office.
Oh, that's true. You want to grab the heat gun and heat gun this, or if you want to mix up the milk paint, you could do that for me. You want to mix up the milk paint, sweetie?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's back there, and there you could just grab a cup and a whisk.
Are you being gentle? I just put that on.
Like gentle, like a baby's bum. There we go. Because it's still soft, you don't want to push super hard on it because then you lose the detail.
Do we have cups or anything for mixing?
Yeah, there's plastic cups in the pantry. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'll go look.
We need to get some reusable cups, but we reuse our plastic cups about 20 times. So, and occasionally we use a jar.
How much paint do you think we're going to need? About a pint?
About 2/3 of a solo cup. I don't know. Let me grab you a whisk.
I have the whisk.
Oh, you got the whisk?
I need the colors you want to use.
I got them right here. You got to make it on camera. So, oh, you need 2 cups, one to pour the paint. Or you're going to just...
I already got my water.
You always do it backwards. All right, we'll talk to him about the mixing of the paint. And I'll move this out of your way.
This is about a half full. Probably can't see the water good. Filled up to about right here on hot water. And then I'm just going to put my powder in until I feel like it's thick enough. You usually want to do 1 to 1, but I'm too lazy to even measure.
Will the milk paint still chip and crackle? Yeah, I mean, sometimes the DIY makes it so it doesn't as much, but because of what we got going on underneath this, I think we should be good. Plus I can wet distress it.
So I'm using the handy dandy drink mixing lines on these solo cups as my measurement.
There's drink mixing lines on those?
The lines on the solo cup, of course, so you have your measurements.
That's hilarious. I'll never use them to mix drinks, obviously.
Me neither. I drink water out of them.
Water and milk. Zeb lost his mic.
Oh, I put it down over there because I got a little.
Oh, gosh. It's like a full-time job. All right, hold on, guys. Thanks for letting me know.
I'm not saying anything important. You don't need to worry about it.
He's talking about solo cups and how they
If
measure.
I lose my mic, just run with it. It'd be all right.
No. Zeb, where's your mic? He's got it back. Hey, Kirsten from Germany. When does the church remodel videos start?
Oh, probably months from now. I don't want to break your heart, but we've got some stuff to do before we can really start doing it.
Some planning. We're hoping to get in there this week and do like a short kind of inside situation video, but yeah.
We were really like gung-ho ready to go, and then we're getting deeper and deeper into this, and we're like, we probably should do it right and get permits and do everything we need to do so that everything's on the up and up. So it's going to be a while.
Zeb, I think that little top piece needs to go to the right, that mold. It's
yeah,
like,
I feel like someone mushed it with their paintbrush.
I feel like that was you.
Oh, okay.
It certainly wasn't me. This one's a little...
It's okay. Imperfections are what make it awesome.
Shelly says Zeb hates wearing his mic. He doesn't hate it, but it's funny because I
just want him to work right, and the stinking little lav mics that you clip right here, they were having a fit too, and so I'm just annoyed with them.
He's annoyed with the mic. He's fussy about sound because he has to edit it out of our edited videos, and so like he'll turn off our fridge and freezer and then forget to turn them back on because they like make a noise.
They run, and we're right here in the kitchen.
But then on live videos, the struggle is real.
One day I'll have everything all working just perfectly and it'll all click, but that's not my life. So
one day when somebody else is filming us.
Yeah, that's not the life I live. So it'll probably be a while before that actually happens. Okay, I got a pretty good milkshake consistency. It might have a little chunkies because I just use this whisk. You can really go to town and whisk it a lot, like for a few minutes, but we're going for a chippy finish anyway, so it'll be all right.
Thanks for sprinkling, Renee. That's my sister. Chow CEO, will Harrington be able to move in sooner than the shop opening? Yes, that's actually the first. We're going to go look at the cottage today. I helped move out about 2/3 of the cottage last week because we're friends with the owner, so we're helping him move. And so Zeb's going to go in today and just check all the functionality of it because it doesn't necessarily have to be pretty for a single.
This is ready.
That's ready. Yeah. Can you get the heat gun out?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be functional. So we're going to go in there and just make sure that everything works and everything. So yeah, he should be in there hopefully in the next week or so, him and his cat. His cat's name is Chet. If you see Chet, do not attempt to pet Chet. He's a rescue cat.
He's a rescue cat, and he
does not want you to touch him.
His former life was not great, and he likes Harrington, and that's about it.
Oh, I'm going to start on this side.
I can't reach. You're going to have to just go with it. Paint it wet. See what happens.
Well, I think this side over here is dry. So you guys, do you want to just fix the camera angle or can it reach that?
Yeah, I'll see if I can. I mean, you're going to.
Because I painted this before we went live. So
you're going to be around to the side pretty quick.
Is this thick enough? This is watery, Zeb.
It's pretty good. It's got like the milkshake consistency. You can put more in if you want, though.
Like a milkshake that didn't have whole milk in it. It's like non-fat milkshake.
Yeah, maybe. Who wants that?
Nobody wants non-fat. Not me. Give me all the full fat milk. All right, hold on, guys. I'm going to just... I drank non-fat milk all growing up.
Till you met me.
Until I met Zeb, and he got me to 2%, and then slowly
I was at her house trying to eat cereal, and I almost died. They put non-fat milk in their cereal.
Your mother used powdered milk. That's worse.
I didn't drink the powdered milk, for the record.
Worse.
I did not like it.
They have better powdered milk now, but man, I've told this story before, but y'all might not have heard it, and I love my mother-in-law, so I feel bad, but I whispered in Zeb's ear. I'm like, Zeb, I think the milk has turned. And he's like, it hasn't turned. It's powdered. I was like, powdered? It was like a new world for me. It's great for your food storage, but you got to eat it every now and then. So that's what they were doing, was just using it up.
Yeah, my mom rotated it pretty good. She was real diligent about rotating the year's supply.
Yeah, she still is really good about that. The funny thing is that, like, instead of Zeb just whispering back, because I was trying to be polite about the milk turning, Zeb's like, it's just powdered milk. So that way everybody could hear.
You did not say it that loud. It was adorable tone.
Your tone is loud. I also told you that I thought your mom's food needed more spice. And then he's like, Mom, Jamie says your food is bland. I'm like, listen, tact here. But it's not that she didn't know how to add spice. It was just that the kids were picky and didn't like spicy food. So she's just catering to her family's stuff. But 20 years later, Zeb and I figured it out. He's still telling his mom everything. So sorry, Mom.
Hey, my mom and I are close. What can I say?
This is true.
I was the first of 6 children, and she had been trying to have kids for 8 years when I came. So,
Well, your mom's used to me now, too.
I mean, we tease that there are other favorites in the family, but we all really know I'm favorite.
Is it the firstborn that's the favorite or the lastborn? Because I'm the lastborn.
Actually, you'd be hard to know if my parents had a favorite. They treat us all pretty much the same.
Yeah, me and my sisters all say we're the favorite. All the grandchildren say they're the favorite. My mom's good about that. I always tell my kids, I tell each and every one of them they're my favorite. And I make sure the others hear it so that way they know that I'm telling them all that. That they're all my favorites.
All right, I'm going to go get a brush. I think this is dry enough. These knobs are not original. We have 2 more like this, but I think they're broken. I might have to do some repair or see if I can use pieces of them.
Well, these are floppy, but we can tighten them, and I think once we paint them, they'll be fine. And I was going to come back, probably not in this video, though, and put some, like, copper patina on them.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So I will totally zhuzh them up. This just made it just like the same color as our buffet, maybe a little bit greener. Like
Elizabeth Morris wants to know, will we have a dedicated painting studio room in the church? I like the painting in the living room, but I'm sure it gets hectic. We paint here because it's easy.
Yeah, we paint here a lot because, like, when my parents are home, I mean, they're pretty independent, but sometimes it's nice for them to have us here or with our kids. We probably will paint there, but I can't say that we'll always paint everything there. Like, a lot of times, if you guys watch the video we put up yesterday where we did smalls, we did them on our island. And we do that because we can paint them and then we can rotate laundry, pick up kids from school, make kids a snack. Our kids are used to working around the paint. It just allows us to be more family time together.
Renee said, just FYI, Jamie, I love the parental units, but be glad they are downstairs at your house. They are noisy. Oh, we know.
Renee, before we finished the farmhouse for 6 months, they lived right next door to us.
So if you don't know, Renee is Jamie's sister, and Jamie's parents are at her house right now.
Yeah.
Normally, her parents live with us, but they're on vacation.
They watch our videos, so they're going to see this. But we made sure, because my dad's a little bit hard of hearing, that we put extra insulation in between the wall, between the family room and their bedroom. And also because the kids will have friends over watching TV or whatever, and it just keeps the sound quiet. So they are fully insulated. And we didn't know they were going to live with us when we did that. Well, maybe we did. Actually, you know what? I think by that point we did know they were living with us.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So you've seen Jamie paint one leg and me heat gun. It's super exciting stuff here.
The excitement
but this color,
ends.
I'm really liking the Sweetie Jane with the olive. It's like a really good sagey color.
Yeah, it's like a light sage green.
I'm going to bring this up a little.
And a lot of the white's going to come through. And I don't know, I might do clear wax, white wax. The top's pretty wet still, so I'm just going to work on the front. You do really want your base coat to be dry.
Delissa or Deliza, let me know if I'm saying your name wrong. Delissa Dixon.
Yes.
She says her parents definitely have favorites.
They might
and
have
a bunch of grandkids. So right now, my brother is the favorite. His wife just had twins, and they were very premature, and one of them's having a struggle with his heart and breathing. And so my parents have been there since pretty much January, helping out with their other 5 children. They have 7 kids now. They were going to go for 6, and they got twins on the end.
Bonus.
And my parents have been there for a long time, helping them out, which I'm super glad and grateful that they've been able to do it, because I wouldn't be able to be down there and help out. Like, maybe there was a moment when I contemplated being like, hey, just send your kids up here. We'll keep them in the house. But then we also have to film and do all kinds of stuff. It would have been pretty miserable for them, because we do need it to be quiet certain times of the day.
Yeah, and they're definitely not used to that. Our kids are grown up with it. But when Eliza, when I was pregnant with her,
Put the paint over here.
Okay. When I was pregnant with Eliza, my mother-in-law actually came to help me out, because I had been put on restriction because I had some issues. Nothing horrible. I wasn't on bed rest or anything. So she came to help out with that. They're good parents in a pinch. And also when we opened the shop, she came for a few
They're really
weeks.
good crisis parents. If you got something you need, like, they just come. They show up.
Yep. We had the shop when it opened, and I was like, Mom, I need somebody just to feed the kids. Make sure they get fed, because we had a limited amount of time when we opened the shop, and I knew that I was going to be there. So Grandma was around to feed them, and she helped paint when they were in school and make sure they got to all their activities. Oh. It's so nice now that we live so close to town, even though we weren't super far away, because we were literally like 2 minutes from our kids at any given time. And the boys have started wrestling, which is at the high school, which isn't too far from us.
This was not dry. I went all the way through to the wood. We'll have to do another coat there.
Paint blending?
Yep.
Look at you paint blending like a boss.
Milk paint. They're both water soluble with the DIY paint and the milk paint.
They play fine together. This drawer doesn't want to go in all the way. You might have to address that situation later. So we did a buffet not too long ago. Super chippy. Did a video on it. Did I fling paint on you?
Well, I'm more worried about the floor. I wash off real easy.
I'll have to scrub the floor afterwards. But anyways, we sold that chippy, super crazy chippy buffet got sold locally. So excited to get this finished. We've actually sold quite a bit of furniture on Etsy recently. Maybe 6 pieces, I think. A lot of them are being delivered here in a little bit. But we do list them on our website. They're a little bit spendy because they include the shipping, which usually will run for a piece like this $400 or $500 for shipping. But we do ship a lot of our furniture now. We actually have another piece I need to text James today that sold on Etsy. I think he said he was going to come grab that and deliver it. It's going to Arizona. Okay.
If your milk paint is a little drippy, you can always add in a little more powder.
But sometimes it makes it
or
hard
just come back with your brush and even it out.
Yeah, if you put too much and it's too thick, it makes it hard to move.
Yeah.
So I like to come back, especially on details like this. You're always going to get drips, so you just got to come back and brush it. It doesn't dry super fast, but actually, I think one coat is going to do it on this. I don't want to get too heavy-handed with the paint because I want some of that original paint finished.
You want some of that white to come through?
Yeah, the white, the brown.
All right, so this is the one I repaired on the sides. If you're just joining in, I used air dry clay from Iod, and then I also added another little trim piece up here. Now that it's painted, you can't even tell that there was ever a difference.
We addressed the paint slapper situation in yesterday's video too. So definitely, if you haven't been watching the edited videos and you're just watching the lives, check it out. We've got them on Facebook and
yeah, we've been putting both
YouTube.
places lately. So,
all right, I know this is itchy.
came back over that spot.
Sometimes the video quality is a little better on YouTube than it is Facebook. Oh.
So Lunchbox Lady asked, what color is this? This is Olive and Sweetie Jane in Sweet Pickins Milk Paint mixed together, about 50-50. It's pretty close to 50-50 mix.
And it'll dry pretty close to this
Renee
DIY.
Cook asked, was that white primer? No, we didn't prime it. We cleaned it because it did have some little bit of like greasy stuff. It'd been outside for a while before we got it on a carport. But this is just DIY paint in beadboard. It sticks to just about everything. It's not a stain blocker or anything by any means, but it's a really nice base color for the milk paint because it's just going to stick really well to this wood piece.
Just coming back and making sure I don't have any drips in it. Yes, we're painting the hardware, and if you don't like it, yes, you can get the paint off. The trick for hardware is you just soak it in a crock pot overnight with water, and all the paint comes off.
Leslie says she tells her grandsons, "You're my favorite 5-year-old, and my other favorite grandson 3-year-old." My oldest said, "But I want to be your only favorite grandson."
My dad always says the favorite one is the one he's with. So I feel like that's a good one too.
Sarah JD thought Zeb was going in for a snuggle there for a minute. I was just grabbing the milk paint.
You never know with Zeb.
But
there's
you know
a lot of harassment going on here when you work with your husband all day. It's one of the employee perks. All right, I'm going to paint this side and then hopefully the
So
top
Rosie, the paint color, it's going to be really close to the paint color behind. This piece is Sweetie Jane and Pantry Door. Oh, olive is a little more sagey, olivey, more like olivey. More like a sage, darker, deeper tone. So this will probably, with the Sweetie Jane in it, it's looking a little brighter than that right now, but we'll end up doing some distressing. It'll probably get a white wax and be pretty close to that. We were out of Pantry Door.
No, I had it.
Oh, you had some.
I'm just trying to use up the paint.
You just felt like mixing it up, huh?
Waste not Wednesday, man. Waste not, want not. So with milk paint, you can totally just mix up whatever colors you got left and see what you get. I mean, you can really do it with any paint, but with milk paint, it's easy because you got to mix it up anyways. We cleaned out, we found a ton of half bags of milk paint in our buffet when we cleaned it.
Valerie, we will probably sell this piece. She asked if we were going to keep it. We sell most pieces just because we can't keep all the pieces. Every now and then we'll find something we love more than what we already have here. Or if we're feeling like a change, we'll change some things out. But like this piece here, this one right here, if we ever didn't want it, we'd probably just sell that in the shop and put something new there that we liked a little better or that fit the space. But that fits the space and displays Jamie's grandma. Her dishes are in that. So
we almost bought for my birthday a buffet. I keep flinging paint over here. Good thing I got a rag. A buffet from Idaho, remember?
Yeah, we almost went to Idaho to get a big buffet. It was pretty awesome and antique. It wasn't like a newer buffet.
Because I am looking for a few pieces that maybe I won't paint, and this one was in good condition.
I got to come over here and dip my brush.
It's like the Tootsie Roll. You can take it. I'm done.
Okay, I'm just gonna paint the top.
Yeah.
We contemplated sanding the top, but it's got so many scratches. I would have had to really sand it down, and it's got a veneer on the top. And I would have probably sanded down through that veneer and ended up having to scrape the whole thing off to get some of these dips and divots out. So
we got a lot to do today. We got to go get Christmas in the shop. I got to photograph.
Oh, yeah.
We have a bunch of new stuff that's going up on JRV, on JamieRayVintage.com. A bunch of new home products that some is already loaded, but some is getting photographed today. So we only have like this hour basically to get this painted, and then we'll come back and seal it all up.
We'll let it dry. We'll distress it, seal it up, see what chips, see what doesn't. But yeah, so we're just going to work with this top. This was definitely something that if you had the time or the energy, you probably could, if you're careful, sand this down, but it's got a lot of dings in it. Oh, that's smart. Just pour it out.
Well, then you can have the cut back.
So we're just painting the top.
We're just trying to go a little bit slower on here because if you fling from the top of your piece, you will get a pretty good trajectory of paint.
One of us will come back over here in a sec and check out comments.
Oh, I can do it.
You can go do it?
Yeah. Okay. Here. I'll just put this down here. Okay. Sorry, guys. All right. Okay. Kai wants to know your dream vacation lot. Don't ask him.
My dream vacation lot? Or where to go?
No, like a dream, like that you want to buy. Also, while you're thinking on that, Connor wants to know, have you ever mixed DIY and milk paint? Absolutely. You can totally mix them. They're both water-based.
You lose some of the chippy properties on the milk paint when you do that because the DIY bonds so well.
I'm coming back before this dries and before everybody gets eye twitch.
Okay, did you see some stuff?
Oh yeah, there was some stuff happening here.
So my favorite like vacation spot, I love being high in the mountains. Excuse me, guys. I love being high in the mountains and pine trees. If I can get high enough to be in the aspens and the birch, I love that. Love listening to those trees kind of rattle in the wind.
Our next project will be something that possibly is like a rented out Airbnb.
We want to do, so we really want to make like an artist retreat type situation that we can also possibly use as a vacation home, or maybe even like employee perks, like you know, like go, you did real good, go spend a weekend at the retreat.
But we don't know what that exactly looks like, and we don't have $1 million, so you know us, we always got to get creative with whatever it is that we buy.
Yep. So I've been looking at Bearland. Jamie had the fun idea. She wanted to get maybe like a couple of really old single wides and put them together, or maybe even use them as separate and like do them up with a nice porch, wraparound porch, and finish them, like do nice finishes inside. Cause you can pick those up for like $1,000, $2,000 sometimes, which is way cheaper than like building the whole house, even if you got to completely gut the inside.
Leah says that's the pour and slather painting method. It's true that I've done a lot. Kirsten says, do you need to protect them from milk paint? Yes. So it is porous. So I'm going to be 100% honest though. I have pieces that I haven't really put sealer on, like personal pieces, because I know what happens. You don't want to get it wet. Zeb, can you get those drips across the front, like under all the hardware? It's doing its thing. I have a piece in my family room right now I've had for years. It was super dry. I just painted with milk paint, never sealed it. But technically, yes, because if it gets wet, it'll like chip off, or it makes it hard to clean if it gets dirty. So you do need to seal it with either clay wax or liquid top coat. But a word of the wise, if it's super chippy and you add a liquid top coat, it legit will never stop chipping. So something that's super chippy, just use clear wax. It'll be your path of least resistance. And I think that, I don't know if that was, I think that was drips from the previous sealer job.
There are some drips up underneath on some of this, but you know, so the milk paint's cool because it's basically the same formula that's been around for hundreds of years. It's how they used to make it. It's pretty much the same. It hasn't changed a lot. And you find these old pieces that have been painted and you'll find drips and runs. And as we paint more and more pieces, we're like, oh, you know what? They have these drips because, you know, they had some thinner paint. And you can mix this up thicker. We talked about that earlier. If you want to mix it up thicker, just know that when it's thicker, it doesn't glide on your brush as well. Like it wants to catch, because it gets almost like a clay type consistency because it's powder that you're adding in.
All right. Do you want to hit that with a heat gun and then we'll wet distress it? Just as far as you can reach?
Yeah, I can go get an extension cord, but I need someone to come back around and entertain.
It's 10:42, so we got time. You can get an extension cord. How about you dry? I'll go get an extension.
No, you don't know where it's at.
What?
I got to dig it.
Are you being the boss of me?
I am, because
I'm going to be a good
the extension cord is hooked up to like 32 things. I have a power strip out there that I need to manage.
It's fine. I'm just harassing you. But hustle, these ladies don't want to wait forever, and men who are watching. Joava says that she wants to paint some laminate furniture to match. Yeah, so I've totally painted stuff that wasn't solid wood before. I paint anything that doesn't move. I mean, you never know how well it's going to stick till you try. I've also ruined a few pieces and dropped them back off at the thrift store and pretend like that never happened. All right, while he's doing that, I'm just going to dry this side. Oops. Yeah. Be do's. Ooh, we're getting Crackle. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do the front. I was just waiting. Okay. Oh, can you not unplug it while it's on? I really wanted to just dry that one spot. All right. You go back to drying this.
I gotta go get my mic.
Oh, Zeb took off his mic again.
Because it doesn't reach and it gets crackly when I go into the garage.
Oh,
so everybody's gonna let me know about it too.
You don't like people letting you know about stuff.
I can't win with it.
You can't win. Well, Good on you for trying. All right, so I'm going to heat gun this. This is going to help it crackle and chip. It will do it a little bit on its own, but whereas this had DIY paint underneath, this might just help our situation out.
I'm going to zoom in for you guys so you can see a little bit.
You could use a blow dryer. Heat guns are actually quieter and more efficient. Move it quickly because especially with the varnish, it will bubble.
So Lisa asked, does anybody else not see all the comments? I am not seeing any from Leslie. So what's happening, Lisa, is you're on Facebook and Leslie's commenting on YouTube because we're streaming live on both places right now.
Yep. We use an app so we can go 2 places at once.
Oh, you can see the crackle. You guys see that up there? It would have happened on its own if we'd have just let it sit here and dry, but probably
maybe not as intense.
It's cooler today. I keep the house at about 68 in the winter. And so it probably would have taken it a couple hours to dry. But that piece right there that Jamie's, let me see if I can point to it. That piece there that I covered up with my finger, Jamie, we added that earlier. If you're just joining, you can go check that out back on the replay. That's a Iod mold.
And some of what's happening is also because of the finish underneath was chippy. So just know that if you heat gun it and then you wet distress it, like you're at risk of having a situation on your hands. So you got to be prepared for the situation.
So Philip J. Moody is watching from Melbourne, Australia, and he loves the color.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this paint is manufactured right in Utah by my friend Sasha, and we are retailers for it, but it's a small business, small batch made in, is it Mona? No, it's not Mona. It's, why can I never remember the town? It's right outside of Tooele.
What?
Where Sasha lives.
Oh. Now you made me forget. Stansbury.
No, she doesn't live in Stansbury.
It's there.
She lives near Stansbury.
Well, don't go giving internet safety, Jamie.
What?
Internet safety.
People know where she lives. It's not a secret. She's told people. I'm not giving out her address.
Delissa, customers will be able to tour the church once we're done with it. Because we're going to, I don't know if we're going to do a whole tour of the whole church because there's going to be rooms that we use for business stuff like offices and things. But the main portion of the church, the chapel area, will be open to the public.
Yeah. While we're working on it, no, because there's too much liability for unfinished spaces under construction.
Carmen Ream, I hope I said your last name right. She's from Germany. She loves the Sweet Bickens milk paint. It is awesome stuff.
And if you didn't want it to look like this, then you could totally make Sweet Pickens, add bond, smooth it out, mix it with an immersion blender.
Denise knows where she lives. It's in Erda.
Or Farmhouse Finishes.
Yep.
Doesn't chip this way. So there are things you can do if you don't want it to look like this. But
Yumiko, you're awesome. She's watching us on both platforms on 2 different devices.
Girl, you're like, get those views up. She's like, I will single-handedly add those views. They really help.
All right, so we've been staring at this section here for quite a while. Let me zoom back out so you can see the whole piece. But we just wanted to show you a little bit of crackle. We probably won't get to the point where you can see the crackle. We'll try to show it in community and post it all the places when it's done. So just keep an eye out for it.
It's pretty well dry. Would you grab me like a sanding block? And maybe a damp rag, not the one that we cleaned it with.
So Leah Drake, what do y'all do when you paint a door or drawer closed? So that handy dandy butter knife that I had earlier, I just run it along the sides if it gets to the point where we can't pull it open. And once you do that, you can pop it open.
The other thing too is you can use a razor blade and score it.
Yeah, you can also score it.
We got lots of tricks. But yeah, this 25-cent butter knife from the thrift store. Ta-da! And then what we do is once it's all the way dry, we'll sand those edges.
Nina joining us from Denmark. Hello, Nina.
All right, we've got We got flaky chippy happening here, which is what we want. We want this to look old. Can you give me sandpaper so I can sand this a little bit? And then maybe we can come in and wax it and show them what that does to the finish. I might even come later and dark wax it. We'll see how much time we get.
Oh, we had another person from Denmark. We're very popular in Denmark today. I hope I say your name right. Is it Lotte? Lotte?
Oh, this is good right here. It's like the
Tanya wants a
feeling.
tour of the church. She's in.
She's in. All right, got it. All right. Seb, can you grab me some sandpaper? Or I can, but then there won't be anybody on camera.
Yeah, let me go grab a piece right here. We've got some.
So this is why I tried to have some of this done ahead of time so we could get to this step so you guys could kind of see where this piece is headed. I don't want it to look like a new piece that I just painted. I want it to look like something that somebody painted in like 1850 and then they painted it again in 1900. And milk paint is actually made a lot like old antique paints because of the ingredients.
So that's actually 600 grit. I don't know how much work that's going to do. I don't know how we got 600 grit sandpaper in the house. It must have come in one of those multi-packs you ordered off of Amazon when we couldn't get sandpaper when there was a shortage last year. And it never got used because 600 is pretty high for furniture.
All right, can you give me a wet rag then?
I'm going to go get you some 220 out of the garage.
Well, I just need a wet rag for this hardware.
Okay.
Because I don't like to use sandpaper on hardware. I'm getting some of it off. It's chipping off here. Careful if you use a wet rag on something that's this chippy, guys.
I'm going to bring you one of those coveted shop towels that no one can find at Harbor Freight because they were calling them napkins.
Oh yeah, if you watched our video where we used, oh good, it's not filming, my bum crack. If you watched our video where we used what we called napkins, they're actually Harbor Freight shop towels. Harbor Freight doesn't sell cloth napkins.
They are drop cloth material, but they've hemmed them.
Yeah, they're hemmed shop towels, and we use them as cloth napkins because we're fancy like that. So I'm just going to come through and pull some of the paint.
Let me see if I can do some more zooming in.
Right off this hardware, because where the dark undercoat is, it really just adds to the detail.
Carolyn says she was watching some videos from France, and a lot of the window shutters in Provence look like the color on this piece we painted today.
So you can see that all those different shades, we've got the white, we've got the milk paint, we've got the base paint, are now coming through and adding to our worn, time-worn look. Let me heat gun this again.
So Tracy was using decoupage paper, some of our decoupage paper, and she got some air bubbles. One of the things you can do is you can take like a little, if you get an air bubble, you can take like a little needle and basically pop it, but sometimes it raises it up, and the only thing to do is just like push it down.
You can use an iron. Yeah,
you can iron it, but just I would put something, if you've already sealed it up, right? Just use like a pillowcase or something that's thin, some kind of thin material over the top of your piece, and then iron, and that can help you with the bubbles too.
All right, I'm going in.
Just for future reference, sometimes if you use a thick decoupage medium, or if you use a lot of it, it's more susceptible to bubbles because it makes the paper want to wrinkle up. So use that's a lot of white wax.
Yeah, I realize that now.
So
and I can only go halfway because I did not dry the other side.
Wax. But back on the decoupage paper, maybe use a little less decoupage medium. We use DIY's liquid patina and don't have many issues. But if you don't want any wrinkles at all, use the iron-on method. We actually have yet to do a video on it, but we just got a new iron, so maybe we will soon.
I didn't own an iron, okay? The iron I had was at the shop because I don't iron stuff. So the milk paint isn't going to absorb the light wax as much as DIY. It's not quite as porous. But if you are worried that you're going to get too much on there, you can use clear wax like an eraser. I'll let you come in close.
Oh, it's in close. I'm going to look at more comments.
Okay. But this now will sit down into all the cracks that we achieved with our milk paint. And the layered chippy finish that was already there kind of added to it.
Denise, this color combo, she asked if this leans more blue or green. I would say that this color combo is leaning more green.
Yeah, it's definitely more green because Sweetie Jane is a blue-green, and olive is green. So we mix that and then we get just a little bit more green. So the clear wax kind of pulls back some of the white wax. Like, let's say you're like, okay, that's too much. You can use clear wax almost like an eraser. All right, there we go.
Renee says you're definitely her sister. She has an iron somewhere.
She has an iron somewhere. Can you? I don't think that that's really showing.
Yeah, when I zoom back out, it shows the color better.
Well, no, but I wanted to show all this, like this texture right here.
Oh.
Can you show them this?
That's as close as I can get.
All right, can you guys see that? It's super
They
yummy.
can see it good.
So we're gonna keep working on this piece for probably the next 30 minutes or so, getting it dry and chippy, sand it, wax it, buff it.
You see, this is what the cupboard looks like when we're doing a live stream because we're in and out of it 100 times.
Yeah, this is gonna look very similar to that cupboard. It's just gonna, this shade of green is a little bit more smoky because of the olive. All right, guys, if you want to achieve this look, you can pick up these products at JamieRayVintage.com. And as soon as this piece is finished, we'll get it listed on JamieRayVintage.com. A piece like this is probably going to be somewhere around the $900 to $1,000 range because shipping is going to be anywhere from $400 to $600. And we always include shipping in our price. So just give you an idea of price range, especially for those of you that also refinish.
Thank you for the piece, Darlene. We appreciate it.
It turned out awesome.
And let's see, who was it?
If you want us to make, if you like watching us make old and crusty things, even older and crustier, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY. Oh, I got to pop in.
DIY. Bye, guys.
All right,
Have a
see you
good
guys.
Wednesday.
We'll catch you later.